Hey everyone, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. And I came in today to see if you've heard the latest on some celebrity stories. And let's just get started. The first one that I wanted to talk about is Miss Shereé Whitfield of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Y'all, did you hear that Shereé got a new man and the new man is a convict? Let me just tell y'all, I was reading this story about Shereé with a new man. And I was like, oh, good for Shereé. But as I started, really delving deep into the story, what I find out is this guy is currently serving time. He is in prison as we speak. Now, the story is that this is the guy that was involved in a falling out of Shereé and Nene. Do you guys remember back when Shereé and Nene had that argument and Nene stood up and said, I'm rich, bitch, and I'm, cashing Trump checks? Well, remember in that conversation, Shereé talks about a deal that she claims that Nene went behind her back and spoke to the promoter. In that conversation, Shereé picks up her phone and calls this guy Tyrone. And Tyrone says that Nene doubled back and told him that he could have done the deal with her, blah, blah, blah. Well, this is the guy. His name is Tyrone Gilliam. He's currently serving time for fraud. And y'all, this guy was big time. His fraud involved millions of dollars. When I read this, I was like, hold up, wait a minute. Shereé is messing around with a guy in prison? And not only that, y'all, there are rumors that these two got married. Now, people that are in the prison where this guy is housed are saying that Shereé has visited him. They've seen her on several occasions. And then there's even a picture of Shereé and him all hugged up. And she has on a t-shirt that says wifey. I was like, Shereé? Shereé did not strike me as the type that would mess around with a guy in prison, and this guy got some time. I think he's not due out until like 2022 or something. What, 5 years from now? I don't know, y'all. I don't know if this story is true. It just doesn't seem real. I don't know if this was some type of publicity stunt on Shereé's part. I don't know, where these pictures come from, if she really did marry this guy. But this just blew my mind when I read it. I was like, wait a minute. So he was defrauding people out of money. And what I did is I went back and watched that clip of Shereé and Nene getting in an argument. And with this new information now, this sheds a little bit more light on that whole argument that Shereé and Nene had. Because I remember when I watched that show, that episode, I think I was on Shereé's side because I thought that Nene had gotten too big for her britches and she was kind of like shading Shereé because Shereé was having financial problems and the building of her house was halted due to her not having money. But when I re-watched that episode with this new information, they're saying that the reason why is because this guy Tyrone was giving Shereé money. I guess he was her man. They were messing around or something. And when he got arrested, her cash flow stopped. And that's why she was unable to complete the building of her home back then. And this is the reason why it has taken her so much time to get Chateau Shereé finished. Y'all, did y'all hear this? What do you think? Is Shereé, first of all, was she messing around with a guy that was in prison? And then as she's messed around with him, did she fall in love and then decide to go ahead and marry this convict? Maybe that's why I didn't see her talking about Apollo and Phaedra, because she knew that she too had a prison boo. Y'all, these women on these shows, why would Shereé do this, y'all? Shereé is a beautiful woman, and she could get so much more. Now, we all watched the show and we thought that that whole storyline with her and Bob was made up by Bravo, because it did not seem like Shereé was interested in his sweaty ass at all. We all watched him pouring sweat and all that and out of shape. And you know, Shereé is all about exercising and keeping herself healthy. So I just did not see her being romantically interested in Bob's sweaty, flabby ass. I just didn't see it. Now, come to find out, Shereé may have had a man on the side. And what they're saying is that Shereé and this guy have been, I guess, messing around off and on ever since that episode that her and Nene had that big falling out. I, y'all, I'm just completely blown away. Shereé, really? With all the financial problems you got, and how hard it was for you to get your house finished, the man that you seek out is someone that went to jail for fraud, and big time fraud at that, y'all, because they said that this guy was dealing in millions and scammed quite a few folks out of some money. This is the man that Shereé has been waiting for after her divorce with from Bob. This is the guy that she feels is her lifelong partner, and is she waiting on him to get out of jail? Waiting until 2022? For some reason, I don't know, even though I read this, for some reason, I don't believe that this is true. Now, I could be wrong, because a lot of people are saying that she has been seen quite a few times visiting him in prison. Like I said, there are a lot of people that seem to have information or be privy to some of the goings on between Shereé and this guy Tyrone. And they are saying that not only has she been messing around with him, but she has secretly married this man. I don't know, y'all. Tell me what you think. Did you hear all of this? And do you actually believe that Shereé would do this? I mean, what is this guy telling her? I mean, if she did, what did he tell her that convinced her to get into a relationship with him, wait on him while he's in prison if all of this is true, and then marry him if all of this is true? Child, I do not know, but who, she too old for this. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Because that is a waste of her younger years, because let's face it, Shereé does have adult children, and I think she has a grandchild too, but Lord have mercy, I don't know, ain't no way. Y'all let me know what y'all think it is. Wait a minute, I don't think Shereé has a grandchild. I let me backtrack on that. But let me know what y'all think it is. Did you hear about this? Oh, girl, Shereé is out of her damn mind. Y'all, on to the next story. So, y'all, keeping with my Real Housewives of Atlanta theme, let me just mosey on over to Miss Phaedra Parks' house. Wait a minute. Did she put it up for rent? Y'all, there is a story out here that Phaedra Parks put her house up for rent. Apparently, after she got fired from Real Housewives of Atlanta, she can no longer afford that mortgage, or so it seems. Now, the house was listed for rent for almost $11,000. Um, and Phaedra was denying that the house was put up for rent. Now, the house was listed, and then it looks like about 4 days later, it was pulled from the leasing. I guess once Phaedra realized that the news had hit that she had to put her house up, she pulled it back off the market. You know what's something with these ladies of Real Housewives of Atlanta? They are trying to maintain a certain image for the show and for the viewers and for the fans. When I was looking at this information about Phaedra's home, first of all, let me just say this. This is a beautiful home. They said it has 6 bedrooms, 9 baths. She has a finished basement. And when you look at the pictures of the inside of Phaedra's home, it's absolutely beautiful. Because when they're filming Real Housewives of Atlanta, we don't really get to see all of this house. You know, we've seen her kids' bedrooms, the kitchen, the garage area, a little bit of the pool, and a little bit of her living room or sitting room or something, but they don't really go through the house. This house is absolutely beautiful. Now, when I'm looking at this, Phaedra bought this house for $1.9 million back in 2016. And I guess once she got let go from Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know, like I said, she cannot afford that mortgage. When I was looking at it, it looks like Phaedra's paying about $7,000 a month. And you know, the upkeep on a house this big has got to be something else. So, you know, it wouldn't be any shame for her to go ahead and say, well, yeah, y'all know I got fired. I can't afford this big bitch no more. So I put it, you know, out there for lease until I can get my finances together and come on home. It wouldn't have been no shame in her saying that, because we would have all understood, because she lost her job on Real Housewives of Atlanta. But she denied it. She's saying that she did not put her house, you know, out there to be rented. And, you know, the story that we're hearing about it is false. But, y'all, I don't know. Because the fact is, there it is right there. It was out. You can Google it. You can put in that address and it will come right up. And also, the stories about this, it shows the house being put up for market. And then there's a story where you see the house being removed 4 days later. Now, I think Phaedra was embarrassed. You know, like I said, they're trying to keep up appearances. And I think a lot of people, a lot of the fans would be more sympathetic and empathetic to these people if they just be honest. You know, if I was Phaedra, instead of lying, I would have just came out and would have been like, well, yeah, you know, I put my house up for rent. Me and the boys are moving out. You know, my finances with the divorce and everything that was going on, the losing of my spot on the show, I had to rethink some things. People would have respected her a little bit more than to put it up and then turn around, take it off, and then say it was never there when people like me are able to pull it up. It was so easy. All I did was Google the address of the place. Y'all, I don't know. Now, maybe, you know, it is still being listed, but she found a way by her being an attorney to take it off where we can't access it anymore. Now, if this is true and it was put up for rent, I don't blame her. You know, I can't see where it's anything wrong with that, because let's face it, she is, you know, still finishing up a divorce. She did lose her job on Real Housewives of Atlanta, so it would make sense. You know, if this house is too much, put it, and you don't want to sell it, because it seems like the reason why she put it up for rent is because she just doesn't want to sell it. You know, she probably wants to keep that beautiful home for her and her boys, but until she can figure out how to pay that mortgage, she had to put it up for rent. I ain't mad at her, y'all. But that's these folks trying to be more than what they really are. I know y'all heard about the story. Tell me what you think of it. Like I said, we don't blame her for doing it. Just keep it real with what she did. You put your shit up for rent because the rent was too much. I'm saying the mortgage was too much. Y'all, let me know what y'all think about this story. And with that, this is the end of the video. Thanks as always for watching. Leave your comments down in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day now. Bye-bye.